All right, hey, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. It's still the 20th, and I made a video and put it up this morning, and I wound up listening to it, and it made me think of some things, and so I want to get them out before I forget, or before my battery runs out or whatever. But I'm down here and I'm working on some stuff, and it seems like everything sort of connects together sometimes. And as I'm working, I realize that I don't have my tools all here in this shop, so I have to bring stuff over and make me think of tools in general. A lot of us are skilled tradesmen and skilled craftsmen and things like that, so we have to use tools. And so I want to just use a word picture here. Here's some of my tools that I'm using. Okay, this is a level. This is so when I build stuff, it's going to be level, level with the horizon, I guess. A screw gun here, use these a lot. Hammer, use it a lot, for putting in nails. I put in all these windows recently, put that door in yesterday. This used to be a livestock shed, but we're going to make it into a maintenance area. I use my handy pencil here quite a bit. You can't go any place without one of these. You get the picture. Now, if I take any of these things out, let's say I take this out of the process and I'm eyeballing everything, it's not going to look too good in here. It might not even fit together too well, and the wind might take it down. Not only that, when people come and they see how rank it looks, they won't have much confidence in our ability as craftsmen. Let's say we take this out of here, and then I'm just using, poke my finger and use blood. I run out of blood. They'll find me dead on the floor. You get the picture. If you take something out, it doesn't work as well. We take the tools out. And my previous videos, I talked about rule of law. And we are either rule of law or we are not, which means law applies to not everybody. That is a not rule of law. And that is a characteristic of a communist government, right? Of where the law applies to the citizenry, but the government, they have a totally different set of things. And I've told you that is changing. All right? I'm not going to go into why. What do you know? But it is changing. We are going back to rule of law. That is the mission. Representative republic governed by a constitution. Constitution is the supreme law of the land. If you haven't got it and read it, please do so. One of the things, I'm going to go through some of the tools that our adversaries use. And we will see that if we take some of those tools out, that it makes their job harder. One of the tools that they use is division. And the best way for them that they found to do that is with party politics. All right, so they keep everything on issue basis, and they keep the population divided 50-50. Right? We got to get over that, right? I have real good friends that are, I would say, left of center, way left of center. But we meet on farming issues and food issues and friendship issues. And we don't get together and talk about the things that we don't agree on. That's not the point of our relationship. We get together because we do things for each other, and I have very good friends that I would do anything for, and I've proven that, and they've done anything for me, and they are quite on the left. And that's just where they land. Over time, I've seen why they see things the way they do. Some of the stuff I've relented on, some of the stuff I haven't. And they've come to see things my way a little bit, too. Our strength as a people is our diversity. I mean, being together and being friends with each other, even though we don't agree on whether Bruce Jenner should have a dress on or not, right? So that's division, party politics. We have to take that head on and just annihilate that. That is something we can overcome that. Another one is confusion. They use that all the time. In my case, those of you that had followed our case was straight tails, curly tails. They said any pig with a straight tail or a curly tail is illegal. It causes confusion. All right, it doesn't have to be that way. If I say to my kid, hey, throw me a 9/16 wrench, and he throws me a 1/2 inch wrench, It's not going to work. It's not going to fit that. So I didn't say to him, hey, throw me a wrench that's sort of like a 9/16. No, throw me a 9/16. End of story. Another confusing issues of our leaders is, well, they take an oath of office to protect and defend our constitutional rights. But not all the time, you know. Not if Cheech and Chong is on the road. Then it's not, then it's not an absolute thing. All right? So that's confusion. They create confusion. It's a tool they use against us. The biggest one I talked about in the last video is fear. When all else fails, they put fear into you. And those of us that are military and have dealt with terrorism, you have to put fear aside. You absolutely have to put fear aside. Like if terrorists blow up buses, then you won't take buses. But what you need to do is flood those buses and then look for those little bastards and get them. Right? Same thing with tyrannical outfits within government that seek to terrorize people. You have to look at them close, look at them real close, and let's see who's afraid now. Remember, they don't live within the castle walls, right? They live amongst us, and so they have to tread lightly. They really have to tread lightly, and they should. Right? They should be doing this rule of law style that everybody knows what everybody else can do because we have this thing called law. We have a constitution, right? But that's not how it's been. So they use this fear tactic, and you have to run straight at that fear tactic and overpower it with courage. Deception, right? They deceive you. They lie to you. If you haven't figured it out, the media is all about lying to you, the mainstream media. And they have been for a long time, so long that people have just grown up with it their whole lives. And they make you think like there's two sides. Well, we got Fox News over here, and then we got CNN over here. They're both the same. They just appeal to your division. Get over it. Get your news from someplace else. There's better places to get it. And then start looking at stuff and figuring it out on your own. You can do that. I'm going to tell you this, and I want you to think about this. Knowledge becomes action. Notice I don't make a video and say, you need to call down there to the Attorney General's office and give him a rash. No, don't do that. Just know this. Know what they are doing. Know that they are lying to you and they're deceiving you. Just know it. And then when a conversation happens and you're a part of it, you can put your 2 cents in. You know, if there's some social media things happening, you can put your 2 cents in. Be truthful. And don't be afraid. I mean, I go on Facebook all the time when Shooty puts things up about his tip of the day. Why do I need a tip of the day from a guy who's been in politics since he was in his 20s? He doesn't know squat. He doesn't know squat. Why should I want a tip of a day from this guy, right? Or anything else that he puts out, you know? I recall we used to have a small farms conference here in Michigan, and it used to be just farmers coming together and talking about their experiences and teaching blocks and classes and stuff like that. And all of a sudden the extension service took it over, and then they had people from the university that were teaching it, and it became useless. It became like a trade show, and we quit going. It's because we weren't listening to people who knew. We were listening to people who had the theory of it all. So these are some of their things that they use, and I want you to think about them again. Division, confusion, fear, and deception, right? And remember, knowledge becomes action. When you become the holder of that knowledge and you understand it, action will follow. All right, it's Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Hopefully this is a helpful tip. Anyone can farm.